Hello, friends. Welcome back to Movie Community College. I hope you haven't stayed away for too long.
Why am I so crabby today?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. You weren't crabby earlier today. I don't know why you're crabby.
Maybe I'm hangry.
That's probably true.
We went and saw
Thugs
of Hindostan.
Right.
And before you were aware of this, I started by booting up the computer, and I was seeing the comments coming in on our YouTube page talking about, don't go see it, waste of time, terrible movie, very disappointed, hated the movie. A lot of comments.
And I've actually had some comments on Twitter from people as well saying, don't bother. However, I've also had some comments saying, can't wait to see your review.
So we drive to the theater.
Yes.
And
it'd be too far to walk, so we drove.
And AZ India was putting on the film at the Harkins.
Yep.
And we bought our ticket, and the guy who sold us the ticket said, first showing was at 4 o'clock, and one person showed up.
Only
Is that what he
seven
said?
People.
He said, however, this is the second showing, and we have 80 seats sold, which isn't bad for us. But you're the first ones here for the
We're
next
almost
showing.
always the first ones.
So we go and we sit down, and
in the back row,
we're always in the back row, and the Indian guy walks in, and he keeps going like this.
It was so funny. Yeah.
And he asks, what movie are you here to see?
He said, what movie are you here to see? And I said, Thugs of Hindostan.
Yes, we had to repeat it a couple times.
Yeah.
So
he's like,
the place began to fill up.
Yeah.
Just on a side question here. In movie theaters in India, do you eat popcorn?
I think they do, and here's why. You and I discussed this at the theater, but then when we got home last night, I was taking a twirl around Twitter, and yes, there were people that said that this is a fun, action-packed film, so grab your popcorn, and they were in India. Okay.
So we watched the movie.
We did watch the movie.
We watched the movie, and we won't get into spoilers, but we watched the movie. Amitabh Bachchan is in it. Have you ever heard of this guy?
I have.
He was in it. Katrina Kaif.
She was.
Managed not to destroy a film.
That's
a huge
true.
step
Yes,
forward. We
that
had
is
Aamir
true.
Khan.
Yes.
We had Fatima.
Yes.
And we see this story unfold. So let me start with this. Let me start with, what did you think of the movie? Tell me about it. Tell me your favorite parts or performance without giving away the title or the spoiler. I'll do the same, and then we'll discuss why we think our Indian friends hated the film. Okay. Okay, so you go ahead first.
Okay. It should be obvious to everyone watching this video what and who was my favorite part of this film. Was it
Aamir Khan?
No. He played a phenomenal part. He was so back and forth in the twists and turns.
You couldn't tell
of his
with
character.
Aamir Khan. I couldn't get a beat if he's legit or not.
It wasn't until near the very end, like the pivotal scene in the film, that we realized, okay, we know what side he's on here. He did a phenomenal job. As you said, Katrina Kaif, most of her scenes were dancing. But she did have some dialogue, thus the opportunity to act. And though there were not a lot of scenes, it's the best I've ever seen her act. So I was happy. Fatima? Wow.
Yes.
I loved her in Dangal.
She's good in My Secret Superstar.
She was not the one in Secret Superstar.
It was the other daughter?
It was the other daughter who was in Secret Superstar. The younger daughter was in Secret Superstar. I prefer Fatima with short hair because I thought she was simply adorable in Dangal, but she was beautiful with her long hair too.
She was a warrior princess.
She's
gonna grow up and become you.
Was. And
Queen.
when we saw the little girl who was like maybe 9-ish, I'm like, you thought that was Katrina Kaif, and I said, nope, that is Fatima.
You did say that.
I'm so good at these things. I can just discern these things all the time. She was phenomenal. Every scene she was in, man.
Was Amitabh believable in his role to you?
Yes, I'm getting there. I'm saving the best for last. Thank you. The scenes that the two of them were in together, man, they just tugged at my heart. and he was absolutely believable as her fill-in father, the father figure, her protector. Absolutely believable. He still has it. He looks at you with those eyes. There was the one scene, without giving away spoilers, where it was before the pivotal scene, and he was looking at Aamir Khan, and you could just see the one eye, because he's kind of turning away, and so his whole body is turning away, the scene is turning, but you see the one eye, and he's just looking at Aamir Khan, like, oh, buddy, you are so, I am going to go 1975 D-War on you. Yeah, that was the look on his face. Yeah, absolutely. I loved this. Loved it. Loved it.
I enjoyed the film.
Yes.
I thought it was action packed. It was fun. It was very much, I think, an Indian version of Pirates of the Caribbean kind of feel to it, without as being as silly.
That's been one of the criticisms.
Without being as silly as Jack Sparrow.
I've never seen those, so I couldn't say. I don't like Johnny Depp.
I thought Amitabh was great in it. I thought Aamir Khan was great in it. And I thought Fatima was great in it.
Yes.
I enjoyed the arc of Fatima, watching how she... what goes on to her in her life.
Yeah, how she became
I
that
also
person.
thought that the white people they had in the movie were actually pretty good.
They did a great job being total jerks.
There were no more, like, some of the white people are terrible. I don't know. They find them drunk on the beach of Goa, and they're like, come on, we give you a couple rupees.
And one of the white guys actually redeemed himself. So.
Yeah, and the other one did not.
No, but he got his.
Yes. It was a great movie. It was fun. It was high action. It felt very much like a blockbuster, an American blockbuster. And matter of fact, it is the largest opening Bollywood film in the history of Bollywood, which is pretty good. I mean, you're the biggest at anything. It's pretty good.
Yes, because they've got some amazing films.
Yes.
There was one scene that I thought really just could have been taken out altogether.
Was it a dancing scene you didn't like?
It was one of the dancing scenes.
You called it the Three Stooges scene?
Yes, it was when he had on the powdered wig, that dancing scene, and it was going fine, and then all of a sudden they sped it up to like 10 times normal speed, and then it's very slapsticky, and it felt like the Three Stooges to me, and I thought they could have just left that entire portion right out of the film. No need, because when I saw that, my heart sank, and I thought, oh my gosh, oh no. If this is how the rest of the film is going to be, this is not going to be very good.
Yeah,
Thankfully, it was confined to that.
It was a really good performance, I thought.
Yeah, by all of them.
Yeah, I thought
Every
it was
one
good.
of them.
It was a good performance.
The creepy old woman who kind of liked Aamir Khan was hilarious.
Yes.
His friend that was kind of like bad guy, good guy, bad guy, good guy. I loved him.
I could not figure out which side Aamir Khan was playing.
I know. Well, we knew originally when he rode in on the donkey the first time. We knew, okay, he's a robber. He's a thief. And he's a backstabber. So we knew right away that he was working for the Brits right there in that very first scene. But then the back and forth throughout the movie,
I think the reason a lot of our friends don't like the film is because, and we talked about this several weeks ago.
Yep.
Thugs of Hindostan, not Hindustan.
Right. Yes.
And it seemed like just on the title, you're trying to be PC and avoid the tipping the hat to Hindu. Right. It seemed to me that they went out of their way to remove any kind of Hindu. I mean, we heard Shiva
there were
twice.
A few, and
there
then was the celebration of
Diwali.
Dussehra.
Yeah.
So there were some references.
But
it felt more Arab.
It very much had a Alibaba and the 40 Thieves feel to it.
And they even mentioned Arabian Nights.
Which is,
in the film.
Yes, they did. Which is fine, I think, but when you take the title Thugs of Hindustan and it's going to be an anti-British, I think people are expecting a more historical Hindu fighting off.
Yes.
More like a Padmavanti where we got more in a historical. Yeah.
You were looking for a historical
I thought this was going to be more of a historical epic, sword and sandal kind of thing, and what we got was it was not at all the film that I thought we were going to get.
Well, here's the problem.
It was still fun, and I loved it, and I'm going to buy the DVD when it comes out, but I think if you're looking for like that Queen movie that's coming out at the end of the. I think it's the end of the year, beginning
The Warrior
of the year.
Queen movie?
Yes.
Carnica?
That looks. I think everybody thought this would be like that, and it wasn't.
Well, if you watched the trailer, you knew it was not going to be like that. It was fairly obvious, I think, from the trailer that this was going to be more of a fun, swashbuckling adventure.
And it was.
The problem was it was disjointed from the title of the film.
Yes.
The title of the film leads you to believe this is going to be a historical epic.
Do we see Gandhi born? Do we see,
we knew that wasn't going to happen.
Bose born? I mean, but you...
No,
you
from
hit
the time period, you knew that
I was
wouldn't
expecting
happen.
a freedom fighter film of like...
Okay, still, but you
Here
knew
is
the
an
time
epic
period.
hero of India.
Right, but you knew the time period,
Yes.
so you knew it wasn't going to be Gandhi or Bose or anything from that time period. This was set from 1795 through 1806, okay, so late 18th century, early 19th century. It had a feel like it was the 12th or 13th century.
Yes, it did.
What I would say is if the Indians that were at the theater with us, they loved this film.
Yes.
They were laughing. Everybody was happy.
Everybody's happy.
So if you go into this film
Do you notice
understanding...
the Indians laugh at different things than we do?
Not all of it.
I know.
No, not all of it. There were plenty of things that we were all laughing at the same time. Some things we find a little more funny because...
Our humor.
Our humor is different.
It's Western.
Right. We're Westernized.
Uh-huh.
And... I think sometimes the portrayal of the bad Brits is hilarious.
Yes.
They're probably more angry at the Brits,
yes,
whereas
I
we're
know.
like, it's hilarious that they're portraying them to
is,
be
it
the
is.
way they are, because that is how they were.
Uh-huh.
But in any case, if you went into this film understanding it's action, it's fun, it's swashbuckling, then you probably wouldn't have an issue with it. But if you go into it looking at the title, you're thinking this is going to be something totally different. That was the issue. I don't know why they named it what they did. Starting, as you said, I think there was a clue when they named it Hindostan instead of Hindustan.
It very much felt like an Aamir Khan PK, where I'm
and if you read what he said,
I'm going to do a little dip on it and try to steer us away from
if you read what he said,
ideas.
What he said was he did not want this to really be about religion or about any one particular culture. He wanted this to be a fun, family-friendly adventure.
And it was. I thought it was.
And it was, but then you should have named it something different. So I really think our Indian friends can tell us why they didn't like it.
Put it in the comments.
I read some reviews online, and people thought that the special effects were not good.
No, they were all right.
People thought that the acting wasn't good.
I thought it was good.
There were people that thought that the fighting scenes weren't good.
I thought they were good.
I did too. I thought that
Final
those
grade.
were all good. I would give it a final grade of a B+ because the disconnect between the type of film and the title of the film.
Bollywood Top 100?
No.
It's the opening monster of all time. You're not going to put it in there on dollars? Come on.
I understand that it is for dollars, but
What are you doing, woman?
because
What are you doing?
because of the break between the type of film that it is and the title, that was a disconnect on Aamir Khan's part, and for that reason, I would not put it in the Bollywood Top 100.
Breaking news, Aamir. You're a great filmmaker and actor, but a lot of people seeing your films are Hindu. Maybe you want to cater a little bit more to them. Still,
Yes.
enjoyed the film. Loved the film.
What was your final grade?
I'm putting it in the top 100.
Now,
and I love it.
for our friends who asked us to do the review
Mm-hmm.
and who said that, Big B was phenomenal,
He
you
was.
are right.
Yeah. Hey, calm down. Everybody,
Was,
calm down.
I still
Look at her. Look at her.
I still have never seen a bad performance
When
from
she's
him.
angry at me, all I got to do is go,
Big B.
Amitabh Bachchan. And she goes, see what she does? Automatically. Okay.
I was so happy.
The food is here.
And when
food is here.
before we get to it, when
Let's wrap it up.
when Zafira, Fatima's character, when she was a little girl, and she was talking to her dad, and she said, Huda Baksh. And I went like this because I knew who was coming. I was so excited.
Are you done now?
Yeah.
You're terrible. See what I got to put up with, India?
Bye.
Bye, guys. We're going to eat pizza and
And
sandwiches.
sandwiches.